Okay, quick story that has me literally shaking right now. So for context, I drive trucks and I stop at this Denny's to grab a coffee because I'm addicted to caffeine. I went in there to get my coffee to go and then I walked to the bathroom, but as I'm walking to the bathroom, it's this old guy sitting to the left with about 12 people that's celebrating his 89th birthday. I got a call from my dispatcher and he was like, yo, you can chill, no rush, they're not ready for the freight, so you can relax a little bit. Sat down, ordered some food, so now I'm sitting like across from the guy that's celebrating his birthday. Time goes by, I'm down there at the end of my meal and everybody that basically came to celebrate with him had left, so now it's just him and his wife. So as I get up to go wash my hands, I see him and I give him a smile. I'm like, happy birthday, young man, 89. That's a lot of memory to have. Here's the thing, I don't even know why I said that. He could have had Alzheimer's. I'm not even sure what I meant by that. Like, but that's what I said. And he said, well, thank you, young man. And he smiled and he kind of just stared at me and I just walked back there and washed my fucking hands. So I come back and his wife is gone. She's talking to some other lady that goes to the same church they do. And he sees me, he says, come here, come here, come here. And I said, yes. And he said, there are way too many things that I wish I could forget. And I said, yeah, man, you make it to damn near 100 years old. I'm pretty sure you got a handful of regrets. And he looked at me with the most serious look ever and said, you have no idea. Well, now I'm curious. Do tell. He said, you know, I used to be a firefighter through the 60s and 70s. I said, that's what's up. That's a very commendable job. And he said, yeah, it should be. He said the 60s and 70s was a different time in every way possible. You know that, right? And I'm just like, yeah, no shit. He said back in those times, I was a way different man, and who knew that we'd get to the point where we are in society today and I'd be feeling the way I'm feeling about the decisions that I made back in those times. So I'm like, man, if you won't fucking tell me, bro. So right before he took a very long pause, he looked at me and said, back in those times, it was very common for firefighters that looked like me to leave people that looked like you in burning houses and buildings and horrible situations just to say they couldn't get to us. He said more times than he'd like to admit, he would hear screaming black people and children in burning buildings and houses and apartments and stores and cars, and he would literally just pretend he didn't hear it. He said his last time doing it was when he made eye contact with the baby that he deliberately went into a building to save and deliberately didn't. And he said that was the last time he did it, and he quit that year. He said the nightmare still hasn't stopped. He still hasn't forgiven himself, and therapy helps, but it's still a living nightmare to have those memories. And I guess that shit just shocked me so much because when it came to firefighters, I never thought of them like that. Like when it came to like police officers, lawyers, and judges, and everybody else, we knew they didn't give a fuck, especially police officers. We knew they didn't give a fuck about us. But I don't know why that didn't click to me that, no, it was everybody that hated us. Everybody. Everybody had a hand in deliberately making our lives worse. When I calmed down from being mad enough to want to pull the plug on his ass, I thought about it. And I was like, of course they did this. Of course they did this shit. Duh. Like, why was I even shocked? Like, of course. But it is something that I cannot think about for too long, because that visual of you fake going to save somebody and not saving them because of the color of their skin and the entire 911 understanding because, oh yeah, you couldn't get Jamal. Oh well, just another one gone. Like, that shit.
Good morning, y'all. This morning I'm very much bothered, and I think by the end of this video, y'all gonna be bothered too. Last night, I watched a TikTok, and there was this young man, and he said he went into a restaurant, and there was an older white man celebrating his birthday with his family, 96 or something like that. And he said that, you know, he congratulated him, happy birthday and all that, and then the white man started to talk to him. And he said there's so many things in his life he regrets. And he began to tell him about how he was a firefighter, you know, when he was working. And he said that back in the 60s and 70s, times were different. And he said it was very common practice, him included, he admitted to this, that there would be burning buildings, burning cars, or burning structures where black people were in there, and they will pretend like they didn't hear their screams and not save them on purpose. And he said, you know, the last time that he did it, he went into a building to go get a baby, a black baby. And he went in, he heard the baby screaming and crying, and he just stood there. And came out and said, oh, I couldn't save him. And the young man said, you know, for a second, I wanted to pull the plug on his old behind, right? But then he came back and said, wait, of course they did. Of course they did. And it wasn't just him. This was the whole police department for years and years and years. Not just him, but everybody else in the fire department. They all hate us. It don't matter what field they're in. He was like, I knew police, you know, people at the job, in every other area and sector and in the hospitals. He's like, but you would never think that another human being would let another human being burn to death, hear their screams and just stand there and let them die. But them people that's racist against us, God's children, the people that hate us, that have malice in their hearts, that have literally spilled our innocent blood on the ground, have partaken in that, have benefited from it, and have not repented of it, and still do it to this day, they're going to pay for that as a whole, as a race, their forefathers, what they've done, they're going to pay for it. But I know that we as black people are very tired. We are tired. Those that have spilled our blood, innocent blood, they are marked as well. It's not too much longer now, y'all, and we may never see it in this generation. We may never see it. My generation, even my kid, we don't know. So do not think or believe that all these people that you see walking and running around, riding their bikes, jogging without a care in the world, money, all of that was built on our blood and our bodies. It will be destroyed, and it will be repaid to us. But that's enough of my rant, y'all. We're tired.
As you've seen in the video, that is a little bit shocking to me, because I don't have the American experience, and I don't know if I'll ever have that. I don't know. But I really want to send love to you guys, because if that is the way that things used to be, and when I see on the news that sometimes it actually happens, or most times it happens, where you have to be scared to go out, you have to be always cautious by what is going to happen to you in the United States of America, it is a scary situation. So me hearing that back in the days people would, I know there is slavery that happened, but to me as an African, I need to be really honest all the time when I speak about this. I didn't get the bad picture of slavery, if it makes sense, like that. I never got that ugly picture of the slavery that happened to, my ancestors or our ancestors. But like the fact that there are still people, old people in general, that are still alive, and they did those horrible atrocities to people. It's really sad. And of course, there's this thing, let's say in the African culture, where they say elders know more, or adult people know more, so they have more wisdom, they have more knowledge. But those people have a lot of secrets that they did in their time, and I'm pretty sure if they all spoke about them, you would be shocked. So the fact that this man was celebrating his birthday, he's alive, and he left a child to burn in fire, and now he wants to like kind of apologizing for it to a person that was not even related to it, knowing he left people, he left other human beings to die, moreover a child. He went, like, guys, you heard the story, He went and he saw a black child in fire and left that child to burn to death. To burn to death. If that is not the most wicked thing anyone could ever do, I don't know what. I don't know what. And of course, like they said, why would we be shocked? Why would anyone be shocked? Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be even a shocker. They, of course, did. When I see the police in the way they police Black American people or Black people in the UK, it's really traumatizing to me to even visit those places. When I see how you're treated in like malls or treated in shops or treated just in general for existing in those Western countries most of the time, it is traumatizing to me, and I'm not even the one experiencing it. So I can feel for you guys, and it's really sad that this is the world that we are living in. But like the lady said, of course, I know, like, we know what to do as Black people. Of course, no one is going to give us freedom by just talking and, you know, making noise. You know, no revolution has ever happened by just talking. Though I'm doing the same thing, of course, if I say something, someone can understand, and if other people say something, I can learn from them. So I know we need to reach that point where we have to fight, I would say. But it is so, it's really sad, it's annoying, it's pissing that these people are still in existence and they are celebrating life. Like, he was celebrating life, and it's not just him. There's a lot of people that probably did that, and I'm pretty sure it's in the healthy system, it's in the political system, it's in the education system, it's in the fire department. Of course, I did not expect that, but why would I even be shocked about it? It's in the police system, it's in every system. So we have a long way to go, and the fact that these people that did these atrocities are still alive is what is mind-blowing and mind-baffling to me. It is annoying, honestly. I feel sad, I feel bad, I feel angry. I don't know how to explain it. Like, why did he even have to come to tell this man about those atrocities? Like, was that apologizing? Like, hey, you know, back in the days, I left a child to burn who was, of course, a person of your color, and yeah, I did some, you know, pretty horrible things. What was the reason for him to tell those things to this gentleman, to this young man? Was he apologizing? Like, was that an apology? And what was it going to do for the young man? Because in actual sense, it just traumatized him. Is that how they apologize? They do the atrocities, and then when they grow older, then they want to reflect on it and be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. You only reflect on those things when you are about to die. Because, I mean, if he was 90, he's about to die. Come on. So he's apologizing because he's about to go. He never saw anything. He didn't see what was wrong with it when he was doing those things. And there's also another video, some white older woman who was asked on what she regretted in her lifetime, and she said, I wish I was more observant to Black people. I wish I was more understanding to Black people. So they only reflect back when they are in the times of almost, you know, dying. That's when they reflect, and they're like, they did horrible, tremendous things. I don't carry hate on anybody. Like, I don't even have to hate anybody. But like, the more you see these things unfold, it's just disappointing, and it just makes your blood boil. But I mean, what can you do but just, you know, be cautious of yourself, you know? And like the lady said, of course, time will come when they will have to pay for those things. And as the world, you know, moves around, comes back and goes around, I know that we will go back to those times of greatness as African people, as Black people. It might not be my generation, like, you know, the African American lady said. We might not be around, our children might not be around, but of course time will come when things will be done right, when we'll be, back to who we need to be in our greatness. And yeah, that's something that I actually believe. And I know time will come when whoever, like, did stuff to innocent people, no matter where they come from, they will have to pay somewhere, somehow. Maybe, I mean, I don't believe in religions of God coming back and doing, hula magic. But I do know that when we start, changing and doing things that favor us as Africans or Black people, time will come when our descendants will enjoy the fruits of us. And then, of course, the descendants of other people will also see the wrath or the wrath of the things that their ancestors as well did to other people by spilling blood, if it makes sense. That was it for me today, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.